ውድ ቻናላችን ተከታታዮች ከዚህ ቀጥሎ በምናቀርብላችሁ የሚስስ ሊዝፎርድ ምስክርነት ውስጥ ሚስስ ሊዝፎርድ በተለያየ መንገድ አምልኮን ወይም ደግሞ በተለያየ መንገድ የሆነ መንፈስ ተጣብቆባት ሲያስቸግራት የነበረ መሆኑና ይህም መንፈስ እሷን ለማታለል የተለያዩ በውስጧ ውስጥ የዝቅተኝነት ስሜቶችን፣ የተጠራጣሪ ስሜቶችን፣ የጭንቀት ስሜቶችና ብዙ ሎ ኤነርጂ መፍጠር የሚችሉ የሱሶችን ሁሉ እየፈጠረባት ይህ መንፈስ ሁሉ ጊዜ በሱ ጉዳይ ላይ ወይም ደግሞ በሱ አጀንዳ ላይ ፎከስ እንድትሆን እንዴት አድርጎ ማኒፑሌት ሲያደርጋት እንደነበረ እና የዶክተር ጄሪ ማዜርስኪ ዛትስ ላይ የሚባለው ፕሮግራም እና ከዚህ ይሄ መንፈስ ይሰራባት የነበረውን ሳታቅሷ ከጀርባ ሆኖ ጭንቅላቷ ውስጥ የተለያዩ ሀሳቦችና ትውቶችን፣ ፍርሃቶችን፣ ጭንቀቶችን እየፈጠረ የሚሰራባትን ትሪክ ካወቀች በኋላ እንዴት አድርጋ ይህንን ነገር እንዳሸነፈችው እና ትሪኩን ከነቃችበት በኋላ እንደ ኪስ ታዋቂ ሌባ ይህን አታችንግ ስፒሪት እሷን ኢነርጂ ሲወስድባት የነበረ መንፈስ እንዴት እንዳሸነፈችው ታስረዳለች። የዚህ ቪዲዮ ዓላማ በእንደዚህ አይነት ሁኔታ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ብዙ ሰዎች እየተሰቃዩ አንደኛ ከእነሱ ውጭ የሆነ ኢነርጂ ወይም ደግሞ ሌላ ኃይል እነሱን ማኒፑሌት እንደሚያደርጋቸው ጭንቅላታቸው ውስጥ የተለያዩ ሀሳቦችን እያወጣ እንደሚጫወትባቸው ስለማያውቁ በተለያየ ደግሞ በባህላዊ ኮንቴክስት ወይም በሃይማኖት ኮንቴክስት እኔ መልአክ ነኝ፣ እኔ ኢየሱስ ነኝ ወይም ደግሞ እኔ ከድንጋዩ ወይም በትራዲሽናል በዛ አካባቢ ባለ ማይንድ ሴት የተፈጠርኩ መንፈስ ነኝ ምናምን እያለ እንዴት አድርጎ ማኒፑሌት እንደሚያደርጋቸው እና መጨረሻ ብዙዎች ህይወታቸው ስለሚበላሽ ይህንን ነገር ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ብዙ ባለመታወቅ ብዙ ሰዎች ይጎዳው ይታያል። የዚህ ቪዲዮ ዓላማ ይህንን አይነት እውቀት ከማጣት የሚደረጉ ሰዎች ራሳቸውን በሰልፍ ሄልፕ ሊያድኑበት የሚችሉትን ሌብነቱን ትሪክሱን ካወቁ ባለመሸወድ ይህን ነገር ማሸነፍ የሚችሉበትን እውቀት ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ለማስገባት ታስቦ የተለቀቀ ቪዲዮ ነው። ተመልከቱት። ወደፊትም እንዲህ አይነት ብዙ ቪዲዮዎችን እንለቃለን።
Hi, I'm Micah Bell, and this is Deliverance Talk. You know, we found out that in our bodies we have all kinds of parasites. Things living in us that we cannot even see, don't even realize, and they tell us by the millions. But most people don't realize that there's other entities in the spiritual realm that also can get in us, dwell in us, and we can be the host and not even realize it.
I've just been chatting on for 10 minutes and all I did was take a photo because of this shit here. I thought I was being all fancy with my new selfie stick with Bluetooth and you've got to press a button. So I pressed it, was rabbiting on for 10 minutes, photo. What I was saying was, oh my God, Mark's going to burst in here in a minute, I can hear him rumbling around upstairs. Anyway, what I was saying is, for a while now, I've been mentioning Jerry Mozinski. Mark's mentioned him recently. And if you haven't heard of him, go look into him. He's really good. I was listening to him before he was everywhere. And so it'd be really easy to find him now because his channel is Engineering Mental Sanity or Engineering Mental Insanity, something like that. And but he's everywhere now. All you've got to do is type in Jerry Mozinski and or Sherry Swiney who works with him and you'll find him and he's brilliant. And so, in a nutshell, he's done a lot of work with schizophrenic patients and he's come to the conclusion that they're not hallucinations because they follow a pattern and they all want the patients to think and say and do similar things and they all get pissed off by similar things. Why would hallucination do that? You know, why would a hallucination get pissed off that every one of their victims wants to go to church or finds out what they really want? What, you know, a hallucination would be different to each individual, wouldn't it? You know, but he found patterns. Anyway, long story short, Jerry Mozinski, bloody brilliant. And Sherry Swiney, she actually experienced some of this. She had some really bad trauma when she was a child and she experienced this, and her and Jerry wrote books now. They're brilliant. And just go look at them. So, obviously in my 10-minute ramble I explained this a lot better, didn't I? So Jerry Mozinski and hearing the voices, and it's not just these poor people that end up in hospital, and the voices tell the people in hospital don't take the tablets, that the psychiatrists are trying to poison you. That's why a psychiatrist, it's a really, really high percentage of psychiatrists that get attacked by their patients, more than any other doctor, blah, 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 blah. And why is that if they're just trying to help? It's because the voices tell them to, because the voices say they're trying to poison you. Because these drugs, even though they're horrible, the side effects are absolutely horrendous, they do quieten the voices for a little while, and the voices don't want that, because the voices want people to be in trauma, hate themselves, keep going mulling round why they're a piece of shit, keep remembering all the bad things they've done, then put new things in their head, and then they're disgusting at these new things, and all the while these things are feeding off that. And so they want that energy. So if they're quietened down by these tablets, then they don't want that. So they try and tell them to not take the tablets and attack the bloody psychiatrist. Psychiatrist's suicide rate is the same as a schizophrenia patient's suicide rate. It's mental, isn't it? Anyway. Now, Sherry Swiner came up with this thing called That's a Lie, which I sort of adapted for me. I'm not saying I'm not, don't have schizophrenia, for Christ's sake, but my whole life I've had really bad intrusive thoughts that's really given me bad self-esteem and really bad depression, to the point of not even being able to leave the house. Sometimes I've taught myself I can't switch that shit off. I tried meditation, blah, 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 but until I heard Jerry and Sherry and then knew what it was, it's almost like you know what you're fighting, and nothing worked. So my self-esteem was through the floor. It stopped me going for better jobs. Just long story. So I've been doing this, That's a Lie, but I've been adapting it. And so the trick is to try and catch these thoughts and realise they're not yours. Basically, it's not that they'll lie all the time. It's that when you get a negative thought in, like, oh God, when you leave a room or something, oh, all those people are talking about me, or I don't know, God, you're so shit at doing art, or it can stop you, and then you start thinking, and then you go back to all the times when you just get in a mess, and to the point where you stop life and just have this horrible emotion inside you. And that's what they like, because then they're feeding off that. You're not going out and doing anything positive or changing it or challenging them. So they like it when you're in that state of, you're paralysed with your shit thoughts. They love that. But so it's difficult to try and catch it if you're in that cycle, because that's the only thoughts you have, and so of course you think they're your thoughts. But if you can start listening to a bit of Jerry and a bit of Sherry, if you do have this kind of thing, then you'll start realising what they are, and that they're not you, they're outside of you, and you can challenge them. And Sherry's come up with this thing called That's a Lie. Basically, when you catch these things coming in, even something like when you're driving a car and you think, I'm just going to put my foot down and just drive at 100 miles an hour, and I don't care if I go into a brick wall. All of a sudden you're like, ugh, and you quickly slow down the car, or, when you think these really horrendous things that come into your head. And it's like, if you don't realise that that's not you, you could think you're a right evil piece of shit, aren't you? Or you're fucking mental, or, But if you start thinking, actually, I'm not the sort of person that would do that to somebody or myself. And you can almost look at it as if, objectively, that's when you can start doing this That's a Lie thing that Sherry said. I adapted it. So whenever Sherry gets these thoughts into her head, she'll just she'll say, I think she says it out loud, that's a lie. And immediately that stops your thought processes for a start. And after a while, it does stop these arsehole things. Obviously, they're always going to try and drip in, aren't they? I've obviously adapted it, so in my own immutable way, I get them now and I go, fuck off, love you. Because Sherry and Jerry also say they can't stand it when you send them love. They can't stay around that shit, because all they want you to do is feel hate and things. So if you sort of send them love, they fucking don't know what to do with that. So I just tell them to fuck off, because it's me. And then I go, love you. Or just any acknowledgement. I'll just be like, some horrible thought come into my head, or something that's winding me up at the moment is them fucking neighbours wanting to chop down all the bloody trees. And so, oh, see? Even now I get like this. And so I've got to realise that when I start going, yeah, it's good to be angry about some twat chopping down trees left, right and centre, when we've got loads of lovely birds around here. But it's when the cycle goes on and on and on to the point where you're just like fuming, and then you bang something and you bloody shout at your husband. And then it's like, whoa. It's almost like, yeah, I can acknowledge the fact that it's a bastard thing to do to keep chopping these trees down, but I don't then have to spiral it into fucking half an hour or 2 bloody hours of my day into feeling shit. Because they're having their dinner then, these things. They're like, oh, nom, 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 nom. So if you can just go, hey, say it in your head if you want, which I do now. I don't say it out loud. Well, shut up. And then you've broken that kind of, the energy wheel, I don't know, that they're on. And it's just mindfulness, isn't it? It's mindfulness. And coincidentally, I bought somebody some of these really lush cards, which I'm going to show you for Christmas. I just went in their bedroom, sneaked them out, opened them, sauce. 31-day mindfulness challenge. And they're really lovely cards. They're like pearlescent, you can't really see that, but they've got really lovely pictures on. And they're just really nice made, and I'm going to buy some for me bloody self, I think. They're just bloody lovely things to have. They're like tarot cards. That's how they feel. They just feel lovely, and you just want to look at the pictures, maybe. Look at that. I want to look at the pictures a lot. Look at that one. They're just really, really, really well done. And I thought, it is mindfulness what we're doing with this, with Jerry thing. It's about, there's this really good picture I try and find, and it's this drawing of this dog and this man or something, this drawing, walking through the park, and it's got like the thought bubbles coming out. And the man's thought bubble is like paying his bills, you know, not getting on with his work colleagues, you know, all this stress he's got to think about. That's what his thought bubble is full of. And the dog's thought bubble is exactly the same as what's in front of him. So they're walking through a park, and there's a nice tree, and there's a nice sun, and there's a nice flowers, and that's the dog's thought bubble. It's just what's in front of him. And it's like the words are mindful or mindful. So the dog's being mindful, whereas he's got his mind full. I used to have that on my bloody fridge, mind. I might try and find that for the thumbnail for this. Mindful or mindful. And that's basically what Jerry's doing in a nutshell. It's mindfulness, I think. So I thought we'd have a little look at some of these. So what you're supposed to do is pick one a day for a month. Well, I got this for somebody for Christmas, and it's still in the packet, so they haven't done it. So I'm just going to have a little look, see which picture. I'm going to go by the pictures. We've had a lot of these. Couple with these, like, let's have a look at that one. With this, the V for Vendetta mask. So this one says, Secret Virtue. I'm so fucking blind. I might need my other glasses for my other glasses. And you know what I'm like? The bloody glasses on my glasses. These ones have stopped the blue light. These ones, as you can see, these ones are just for effect. Like I said before, the more glasses you got on, the more clever you are. I still can't fucking see nothing. Secret Virtue. Today, do something nice for someone else. Well, we did that yesterday, me and Mark. But do it anonymously. Well, we didn't do it anonymously. This act can be very simple, like washing someone else's dishes that were left in the sink. Leaving a chocolate bar on a co-worker's desk, or paying for a future customer's coffee before walking out of the coffee shop. Although this exercise is designed to bring joy to others' days, you might notice that your day becomes much more peaceful and at the same time invigorating. Pay close attention to the little voice in your head that pushes you to tell others about your good deed. That's a little... yeah, tell people. Can you imagine it? These thoughts are normal and natural, but make a conscious effort to let it go. That's brilliant, isn't it? We did a good deed for somebody yesterday, but they knew all about it. So that's a good one. Maybe not today because I'm all done with doing good things for people. It took me all day to do that yesterday. Let's have another. Let's pick another one. I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to pick it by the picture that just stands out in me. Oh, I do mosaics. Look at that one. Challenge your beliefs. Take a belief you've held for a long time and pretend you believe in the exact opposite for a few minutes. Notice how you feel when you do this. The belief you choose can be related to religion, politics, education, gender, medicine. That's interesting, isn't it? Maybe we could give this to, who's. Or just life in general. The stronger your belief, the more effective this exercise will be. For example, you believe in God, pretend you are an atheist. Doctor, you are pro-Brexit, now pretend you are anti-Brexit. It doesn't say doctor, it says or, because that didn't make sense, did it? But I'm blind, and they've done a square O. They don't stand a chance, do we? Or, pretend you are pro-Brexit, now pretend you are anti-Brexit. How does it feel? How does it make you feel to fight the other corner? There are no right or wrong answers here. We simply want to try and understand where people on the other side of these beliefs are coming from. You can learn a lot about yourself and people around you from this simple exercise. I'm going to do that one. I have a little conversation with Mark. Maybe we'll video it. I'll take these off now because I look like a twat, don't I? Can't see. Okay, now. Yeah. I'll have a little conversation with Mark. And those are the ones that make me not see. Oh, Christ. And maybe we'll video it. So we're going to do the, you don't know yet, challenge your beliefs card. I'll do some more of these, I think. They're beautiful. They're really shiny. You can't see it. Pearlescent on the back. I might buy myself some of these, as I nicked it from the family member I bought it from. So, being mindful. Jerry Mozinski, Sherry Swiney. Stop that shit up. What else would I want to say? Oh, okay, I'll leave it because what I was going to say has got nothing to do with this. Yeah, all right, bye. That didn't work. I just sat for 10 minutes like this. Fuck's sake. I'm just going to press it.